Hello everyone, this is QED Environmental Systems. Today we will be demonstrating the recommended procedure for disassembling and reassembling an AP4 Plus auto pump. You can identify the AP4 Plus auto pump by the color of the outer fiberglass casing with logo and the inlet debris screen, which is unique to this pump. Also, this pump has a bottom inlet assembly that does not require the use of a spanner wrench to remove this inlet or bottom check valve assembly. So, tools we're going to need today are going to be a 7/16 wrench, 7/16 ratchet, or a 7/16 nut driver, a pair of needle nose pliers, a hammer, a slide hammer, some Teflon grease, and some Vibratite. Okay, the first step, we're going to remove the inlet debris screen by removing the bolt that retains it. Once you have this bolt removed and the screen off, it's a good practice to put the bolt inside the screen so you don't misplace it. It doesn't get dirty and it keeps it out of your way. Next, we are going to remove the 3 bolts that hold the inlet housing or the bottom check valve assembly in place. Again, this can be done with a ratchet with socket, or you can use a impact gun. Whatever makes things easier for you in the field or in your service area at your site. So once you have these 3 bolts removed, time comes to remove this inlet assembly. This can be done by hand if you have that greased up very well, or in some instances you may need to use a slide hammer, which will assist you to break that free if there's some sealing there from grit, sand. Yeah, applying some Teflon grease to that O-ring around there is going to make life easier going forward regarding service and maintenance of your pump. So once we have that out, we're going to remove the inlet poppet and set that aside. And then you're going to split your casing from your pump body, which is done by hand. Some instances, again, you may need to use a case parting tool to accomplish this. So now you're going to remove your spider casting, and that just threads off by hand. You may need to use a tool on that. Screwdriver, long thick screwdriver works pretty well. Once that's removed, we're going to mark our bottom cup, just so you know where it orientates when it comes time to reassemble. Next step is remove the retaining clip for your cup. Remove your cup. Remove your control rod spring. And remove your stop. Now the float can be removed. You could service any scaling, any debris, any buildup, any deposits that's preventing your pump from operating. Now, reassembly, you're basically going to reverse the steps. You're going to install your float, control rod back through the float channel. You've got your stop, and you have your control rod spring. And finally your cup, bottom cup. Put your retaining clip back in place. Now, these next steps are often overlooked, but are very, very important. We're going to apply some high quality Teflon tape to your threads at the bottom of your dip tube. Now doing this is going to ensure that you do not have a problem with galling, which on stainless that would be a problem if you don't do this. You may not be able to get that spider off, and that could definitely be a problem for maintenance and putting the pump back in service if it needs a repair that you can't get to if you don't remove this. So you want to, once you have this on, you give it just a little snug with any kind of tool. Now that's back in place. Another very important step, again, that's often overlooked, is just the application of a Teflon grease to the pump head O-ring, and then also to your bottom inlet O-ring. Like I said, doing this down the road is going to be beneficial in disassembling this pump. If you have a problem well that you're going to be, reservicing the pump often, it's a small step that will pay dividends for you down the road. We're going to go back in with our poppet and with our bottom check valve inlet housing. And we like to apply a little Vibratite to the screws, which it's already been done. The Vibratite just prevents the bolts from backing out as the pump cycles. And once you have that done, you want to tighten up those 3 bolts. Again, that could be done with a tool, or it can be done with a cordless drill or cordless impact wrench. Key thing after you do this, if you are using a impact wrench or a cordless gun, you want to just put the wrench back on there, or put your ratchet back on there, and just make sure those bolts are nice and snug. Definitely don't want those backing out down in the well. Final step will be installing your debris screen back in place, and the debris screen screw, again, a little application of Vibratite. Ensure you do not lose your screen. Alright, that wraps up today's demonstration. If you have any questions regarding anything covered today, do not hesitate to contact QED Service at 1-800-624-2026. Thank you all for joining us.